Well, welcome to my video, which is, well, I'm hoping it's going to be one video, might be more than one, about ships, various ships in Empire Total War, their advantages and how to use them. I thought I'd start by going through each of the individual ships. There are quite a lot of them. You can see down here in the bottom left, I've pulled out at the moment a heavy first rate. I've got a first rate as well. I've got a second rate, a third rate, a rocket ship and a Razi, right? So different types of ships that I've got here, and I'm going to show you the advantages and the disadvantages of all of these. Can you see this? Just three guns on this one. These indicate the guns that are on each of the ships. I'm really sorry if I'm teaching Granny to suck eggs about these. I know Empire's been out for quite some time now, but there will be some coming new to the game. But also, I'm aware that a lot are not comfortable with sea battles and don't fight any at all, partly because they don't really they don't prefer to use ships. Ships are sort of subject to wind and all kinds of other problems, manoeuvres and stuff. So it's a different type of game altogether. But it will benefit your battles enormously. It really will, because your campaigns in particular, being able to develop a proper sea power. Right. Okay. Well, here's the big one. First of all, I'm going to make some personal comments as well. In other words, comments that are from my personal experience. I don't mean, hey, I hate this one. I don't mean it that way. Although I will say that this is possibly my least preferred of all of the ships. This is the heavy first rate. It's massive, isn't it? It's a beauty. And of course, in one of the updates, you get Victory as well, which I believe is a first rate flagship. I'm not too sure about that now. Looking at the ship, you can see, of course, with these great big ships of the line, that most of the firepower is coming from each broadside, and the heavy first rate is no poor example of that. You find that in the rear of the ships, they're really quite exposed. If you look there, you'll see on these not a single gun sticking out at the back there. Nothing at all. So pretty surprising that, isn't it? You usually have some kind of tail guns on these ships, but if you look down here, just down there, right, you can see just a couple of Marines in the back there, well, a chap playing the drum, and then on the quarterdeck, the officer. No guns at all on the back, so the most vulnerable place for a ship like that is very definitely the rear. Now, it's got a mix of guns, so it is very, very powerful, so it's very hard to get up close to it, or even anywhere near it really, without engaging all of those guns on the broadside. All the Admiral has to do there, not the Admiral rather, the ship's captain or midshipsman, all he's got to do is draw his ship up into broadside. If you look at the front, it's pretty vulnerable from the front as well, yeah, but it does have some guns. It's got 4 guns in the front. So in other words, if you're going to go round a ship like this, you're not going to go round its front, because it's going to fire at you while you're going round its front. So if you do go round there, you're going to get a broadside from there. Do you see that? You're going to get shots from its front as well, and a broadside from this side as well. So really, if you're going to go round a ship like this, or you're going to find any angle that you're going to approach this ship from, which is the best for you, it's very definitely going to be the rear. If you look down here, you see these holes here? That's for the chain, because the ship is currently anchored in the water. So please don't be worried about that. That's not going to cause you any problems whatsoever. So really, you've just got 4 guns to face on the front there. But bearing in mind a sloop has got, say, 12 guns, then you don't want to be getting up close to this, do you? Because even on a broadside, you've got 12 against 4. His guns will be heavier than yours. Now, if you look down the sides here, bearing in mind he's only got 4 on the front, look at what he's got on the ship in total. Right, we've got 122 guns. If you take 4 away from that, that means you've got 118 guns. Now, 118 guns is 59 guns on each side. 59 on each side. The firepower, when you compare it with other ships, you'll find is amazing. Look, with this one, it's up to its absolute maximum. No chevrons on these, by the way. These are just the basic ships. Look at the firepower of that. So you've got 59 guns firing in broadside at you with that kind of firepower. The range is 500, but that's adjustable. It depends on what you're firing. Ball can be propelled much further than bags of, various explosives and things, or chain shot or whatever that flicker through the air. You'll know that. I mean, when you throw one big ball like a golf ball or something like that, it's much more effective than when you throw, say, a load of small pebbles or even marbles. So it's much more compact in the barrel, so you get a much better range. So that range doesn't just define everything that it can fire. Your accuracy on this is 55. That's pretty good when you think about artillery in the game on the battlefields. Usually the best artillery is around about, I think, 45. For example, rockets come in at about 15, and your good mortars, sometimes with chevrons, are coming in at about 45, say 47. So I think the most effective thing on a battlefield, I wouldn't like to be quoted on that, is certainly in the 40s. So I think it's hard to get it up into the 50s. Reload skill 9. Now that's pretty poor. And that is very, very important when manipulating ships, and it'll be the same for all of these ships on here. So reload skill of 9, when you think that your troops on the battlefield, even poor quality troops, have got a reload skill that's much better than that. Some guard units, I forget now, is probably a reload skill of about 45, 50 or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, but even on the battlefield, they're slow, aren't they? So, I mean, imagine these, imagine what it's like in a sea battle. And that's why you'll find my tactics, the reason why I follow my tactics when I move on, it takes a long, long time to reload one side of a ship. Here's your hull strength. That tells you basically how many hits that you can take on this ship. So basically what happens with the firepower is you're being battered by this. Yeah. So that's the total firepower. When that batters you, it takes points away from here. I've never been able to work out exactly sort of how many points it takes away, but I have had big ships in battle with small ships, and the small ships are like pea shooters. The hull strength is so strong that basically it doesn't make any impact. So the way I think about it is that your guns need to have a firepower that's beyond the hull strength in order to be able to start doing some damage to it. The hull strength will reduce as you batter away at it, of course, though. Speed is only 8 and maneuverability is low. So this is a perfect ship to attack with a much faster ship that has a very good range, like a 5th rate. If you can get in there and keep hitting it from the back, it's going to take a long, long time. It'll be a long, long battle, but you will eventually, if you're very, very careful about it, you will take it out. This is why some of our ships, British ships, had problems against galleys, because galleys, of course, they don't rely on the wind. The wind is part of the tactics, and we'll discuss that later, but just now I'm going through all of the ships. Speed, 8. Like I said, slow. Recruitment costs, very, very expensive, these ships, and the upkeep costs, I don't think it's too bad, to be honest, for ships, 350. And for this one, abilities. Now, for the abilities of the ship, it's got top gallants. I'm pretty sure all ships of the line have top gallants. Now, it's talking here about various types of abilities that you can have. You can have other abilities as well, like flintlock cannons, for instance, improved grape shot. They're all technologies that you can research, and I should go through that as well, really, and go through the different types of naval research that you can get. Looking down here, you can read all the bumf about how many of these ships were actually created, and the historical information about them. I won't bore you with the details of all of that, not that I know it off the top of my head anyway, but okay, so there's your heavy first rate. I've had to start a battle to do this, so I've got various ships on the battlefield here. I've chosen British ships, basically because I'm British, because I'm familiar with them. And I think it might be worth just saying one thing about the sails. You see this here? Just if I just increase the sails on there. Now we'll talk about this on the battle as well, but I'll just unpause the game there and then fully unfurl those sails there. Okay, now let's just pause that again because I don't want to suddenly get into a fight with that sloop that I've had to create the battle with. So you look at this, right on the top here you've got top gallants. They're little squares on the top of there. You earn those through technology. Well, I say you earn them, you research them really, so I suppose in a way you have earned them, you haven't actually paid for them. So right, the top gallants give you that extra little bit of speed in battle. So when it gives you a speed of your ship of 8, that speed is actually improved by having the top gallants. They will go a little bit quicker, so don't be fooled by that. If you think, well, that's an 8, hang on a minute, mine's a 9, why is it keeping up with me? That's the reason why it's keeping up with you. But I would ask you to look at the amount of sail that's on here. Look at that. You know, I mean, it's like a campsite, isn't it, really, of canvas? So, I mean, you start hitting that with chain shot. I know they're big, heavy sails, but really the strength of these ships is in the hulls, not in the sails themselves. They are very, very dependent on those sails. But again, we'll talk about tactics later on. So that's the ship there in full sail. Okay? Going from that, we'll go to the next ship. Not a lot of difference. We're just going on to the first rate now. Different format to it. It's just not quite so built up as the previous one. So on this occasion, we've got 100 guns. If we look to the rear of the ship, you'll see yet again that all we've got is all the ship's captain's cabins, you know, so we've got no cannons on the back there. The place is totally and absolutely exposed. I don't know if we can see it from here. Yes, we can actually. If you just look out there, can you see the arc of fire on that is there and there. Now, we'll talk about tactics later, but just to inform you about the ships and their advantages as I'm going through each individual one, it's important to point this one out because these ships turn very slowly. So if you imagine, right, that this ship is turning now, it's going to take an arc. You've asked it to turn there. Okay, it's not. You see that circle there? That just represents the ship, really. That's how you know, that's sort of the direction it's facing in, wind direction, etc. What you want to do, well, sorry, the compass direction. What you want to do is turn round just like that and fire a broadside. You can't do that. Even if you select one of these on the right here to turn it left or right, so you go like that. Yep, it's not going to do that. What it's going to do is turn a large arc. Let me show you that now. Just take the pause off the game. Right, you see what it's doing? Now, if I go like that, yeah, you'll see that the ship is gradually very, very 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. Can you see how incredibly slow that is? That's the quickest way to do it, by the way, to turn it like that. If you click like that and ask it to turn like that, watch what happens now. You see this? Right? You see how it's turning a wider arc? It's going to go all the way around there, facing that way, before it even gets to this side. Okay, so that's going to be some time, isn't it? It looks like one of my ships might have got fired at by that sloop coming in, so I don't want to be losing the ships before I've even got going, do I, really? But anyhow, that's this one. This one's doing, like I said, 100, so it's a reduced number of guns. Other than that, it's the same ship. Basically, the other ship has crammed more guns in. The heavy first rate has crammed more guns in. If you look down here, you'll find that on the rear, again, no guns. We've got guns down each side, evenly spaced. And look on the top here, and again, we've got, how many have we got in there? Should be 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, so we've got 4 guns up there. And I've already said we've got 100 guns on this ship. So if you take 4 from the 100 guns, then you know that you've got 96 guns, and half of 96 is 47. I think I did that a bit quick, didn't I? Is that right? 47, 18, 94, 48. Sorry, I'm sorry about that. 48. So you've got 48 guns down each side. So reduced broadside compared with those of the heavy first rate, which were, what did I say, 53. But anyway, substantially more. That's all you really need to know. Substantially more. They're big guns, 33 pounders or whatever. I mean, they're very, very big. I'll show you this now. On this one, your firepower is reduced, 2,680. Your hull strength is still pretty darn good, by the way. Speed is a little bit higher. Yeah, you're up to 9. Maneuverability is still low. That speed is not really going to count very much for you when you're against high maneuverable ships. Okay, recruitment cost 3,310, upkeep cost 350. So quite similar, really, I would have said, to the heavy first rate, and that's probably the main reason why you wouldn't have the heavy first rate. Now's the time, probably. I'll just show you the top gallants again, which is what they've got, and again they get the flintlock cannon, all the other advantages. On this one, 327 men. It's worth pointing out, by the way, not only have you got 327 men, they're combat men. You've got marines on here, yeah, as you have on the first rate. In fact, any ships of the line have marines on, yeah. And now the marines are going to be able to shoot at the enemy. I don't think it shows you them on here right now, but you will have, up in the tops here somewhere, marines, and when you get close enough, those marines are going to be shooting at the enemy as well. So you do have a musket firepower as well. So if you start to lose any troops, any infantry, when you're going on the rear of this ship, you think, hang on, he told me there were no guns on here, what's going on? That's basically because the marines are there. You see, there's a marine on there, he's carrying his musket, and look over here, you see one on here as well. I'm not sure on these ships if it shows them with bayonets. But there's no reason why the Marines shouldn't have bayonets as well. You can't really quite make them out on there, can you? But not too sure about that. But anyway, you can see the Marines. They're going to be firing at you as well in very much the same sort of way as you would have if you were attacking a building. No, they haven't got bayonets on there, have they? But okay, when you get close up to these, they're going to swing across to you. They're going to put hooks and chains and all sorts of things across from your ship to the other. And then what they're going to do is they're going to go climbing along those ropes. One thing that's also worth noting is these ships are very, very tall. If you come up against a ship that's very, very low down in the water, one that's down here, yeah, so it's only one deck, like a Razi, for instance, is a ship that's got its top deck removed, or sloops are only a single deck. Yeah, if you attack one of those, you can find sometimes, I'm not sure if this is a bit of a bug or it's been repaired or not, or what happens is your men will fall to their death. They'll jump from here down onto there and die. So you do have to be very careful when you're boarding ships like those. You suddenly find that your big ship with all its Marines on it and stuff is really, really struggling. It's a bit of a nonsense to me, really. You ought to be able to jump down onto those ships. There should be a way of doing it, swinging across from these yard arms, etc. But anyhow, just be careful of that one. So anyway, here's all the bump again. Here you go, firing 32, 34 and 18 pounder ball on 3 decks. What's that? They carry a crew of over 800 sailors, gunners and Marines, and have more artillery than most land armies. Well, every land army than we have in this. I mean, surely one broadside is bigger than any battle of artillery that I've seen. But anyway, I suppose they're talking mainly about the actual massive battles like Malplaquet of the period. Historically, first rates were never common, and it goes on again to explain that, but I'll leave that for you to read that at your leisure. Moving on from the first rate, having done the heavy first rate, and don't worry, I'm not just going to spend all my time on these ships. I will go through the tactics as well and show you them in action, but for now I just want to go through each of these ships so you've got a good idea what they're all about. Okay, looking on this one here, we're now at the second rate. This is by far the most common ship for me. I find it a very, very strong, very useful ship. Okay, so we've got what does it show on there? 86 guns. Oh, good. Right, I thought maybe this one had been hit and it lost some guns. It shouldn't have done, not being hit by a sloop. But anyway, okay, we've got 86 guns on this one. And again, you'll find, looking around the back, they're all very much the same sort of formula, so I won't waste too much time on this. There you go, same sort of format at the back there. Not all ships are like that, by the way. I'm just showing you the big ships of the line. They're all formatted in this game on the same system as the British ships. First, second, third, fourth, fifth rates, etc. Again, just a chain down the bottom there. Nothing to worry about. On the front here of this one, we've got 4 again. So all the big ships have got 4 in the front. They can always give 4 fire from there. So you take the 4 from the 86, which leaves you with 82, which is dead easy to work out. 41 guns on each side. So you have 41 guns as opposed to the heavy first rate, which I believe was 53, was it? I don't know, but it's a lot more anyway. It's a bit academic really about the number of guns. Similar format to everybody else other than that, and we'll move on now to the third rate ship. It's very rare I get these. Now the third rate ships, again these are another one that you get from the, I'll go through this as well, the large dockyards, the steam dockyards, the naval hospitals. These are the ones you get from these. I don't believe these are available. We'll find out later. I'm pretty sure they're not from the commercial ones. I think the best you can get from the commercial basins or the global trading companies are the fourth rates. If that's any different, we'll find out when we get to it, but I'm pretty sure that's not the case. So really, if you want any of these big warships, you're going to be looking at getting, say, shipyards, dockyards, and then building up to steam dockyards or whatever they're called, and what's the other one? The naval hospitals. But okay, so looking down at this one, you can see similar format again. Looking round, there you go, all the nice pretty windows for you to be able to shoot windows out. He's got all that space at the back there. Notice nothing there. Obviously the Marines can fire over the top. Nothing to fear yet again, and we're down to the third rates now. Looking over here, they're just slightly smaller ships basically, and again at the front we've got cannons, but this time a less effective fire from the front. We've only got 2 on this one, so when you get down to a third rate, you've only got 2 guns on the front. Now, I don't remember exactly what these number of guns are when I'm in a battle. All I know is that the big ships, you get to second rate or above, they can fire two guns from the front with you. Now, I've just said if you want to attack one, you go round it. If you're fighting with it, what you want to do is turn so that you turn for a broadside this way and fire your broadside up there, then turn your ship this way and fire your broadside up there. And the reason why you'll do that is because when you're turning round from that position to this one, you get your forward shot as well. If you were to do it in reverse, you're not going to get your forward shot. You're going to miss out on your forward 2 guns on this ship and 4 guns on these ships. So you're getting an advantage as well. You're not only firing your broadside and then firing your second broadside before this side's had chance to load and therefore fire again, you're also getting the advantage of having those 2 guns fire as well, or 4 depending on which ship you're firing with. So if you look down at this one, let's give the information about this one. This has got 74 guns. We know that 2 of them are on the front, so that gives us 72 guns, which means we've got 36 broadside. Compare that broadside with a 53 for the heavy first rate, and then down from the other ships. Then you can see it's not really going to make it against the big ships, this one. And yet you're going to need a dry dock in order to get one of these. One of the bigger, yards. Basically one of the bigger shipyards. And if you've got a shipyard that big, that's what makes me think there's little point really in having a third-rate ship of the line. Of course, unless you can't afford any others. But look at this: speed 11. And again, manoeuvrability low. And this is why I say there's very little point. The speed makes little difference. The speed, to me, is for chasing down other ships. It's not really that important with ships like these. Manoeuvrability is. And it's got the same manoeuvrability as the big ships. So there's no real advantage. The difference between 9 on the heavy first rates and 11 on this, to me, is not worth going for. Hull strength is still pretty darn good. That's worth having. Reload skill, again, you're still at 9. Not brilliant. Accuracy, 60. Pretty good. Range 500. So you've got to watch your ranges. That depends on the sort of size of your guns. Firepower, pretty decent as well. So if we look over here, abilities, top gallants, same as with the others. Look down here and you'll find what you've got in terms of the number of men, and you'll also find that you've got 32 pounders like you have on the big ships, and you've got 700 men. You've got a crew of 700. That's all told. It tells you all about that on there anyway. They were fairly common, the third rates. It was far less common to have second and first rates, and I suppose in some ways they should be a great deal more expensive, shouldn't they? Anyway, the range on that one is 500. Let me just double check the range that it said about this one. Yeah, 500. They're all 500, aren't they? I thought they were. Just worth to double check though, isn't it? Okay, so that's the third rate. Now let's move on to the rocket ship. I never use rocket ships. Tell you why I never use rocket ships. For the same reason, I never use carronade frigates or steamships, to be honest with you. I don't like steamships, but there are advantages to them. Now you notice it's only got 3 on there. Now let's see what this can do. Range 750. Longer range. That's good, isn't it? But it's only 150 difference. Speed is only 8. That's low, so you can't get away even from the big ships. So they're gonna get close to you pretty quickly. You've got 3 rockets that they fire at a greater range, but that range is going to close quickly, and suddenly you're faced with a broadside. You're going to get absolutely murdered by those still fairly long range guns on those bigger ships. So to me, these ships are absolutely worthless. But the main problem with them is, even reload skills poor, accuracy's poor, everything's poor on these. Hull strength isn't good enough for the kind of ship that you're getting there. They've got no special abilities. In other words, they've got no top gallants. So it's a waste of time, getting your top gallants for this one. Look down here. Okay, you've got some nice holes in the side there. You'd think they could put some cannons in. They're putting cannons in there? No, they're not. They're putting rockets in. Now the rockets are here. Yep. Not a lot of difference, is there really, between this and some kind of Roman thing, where they've got catapults and stuff, That's really what you're facing, isn't it? So you've got rockets. You've got rockets for and aft. Oh no, sorry, no, you haven't. They're cannons aft. Okay, so he's got 2 guns maximum that he can fire at you, and then he's got those rockets. So once you're outside the rocket range, so once the ships are too close for your rockets to be effective, you're gonna have to turn and fire with these 2. So I was thinking there were rockets on the back as well, but they're not, are they? It's just 3 guns. So it might well tell us on there. I can't see what it tells me. It doesn't tell me what those guns are at the back, I don't think. I never use these. Strongly recommend you don't either. Congreve rocket system designed to copy Indian weapons, etc. Anyway, I'm not going to go into detail of that, but I will say to you, although that's 750, these are normal range, and in fact looking at them, they don't look like big heavy guns, so they're probably pea shooters, those there at the back. So pea shooters, what I mean is 18 pounders, maybe even only 12 pounders, I don't know. But the main problem with these, and this is why they've got the rockets at the front there, not at the back, sorry, at the front, is because your sails can catch fire. You can actually set fire to your own ship with these things. That's ridiculous. So, I mean, like any ship captain who didn't like steam in the period, I'm the same with rockets. I really don't like the idea of firing rockets which send sparks out and flames out when my sails are around. So, to me, it's all a complete waste of time, that ship. But I stand corrected if anybody else can. A Razi. Now, Razi, quite famous, the Razis. Not very much use in these, really, in these battles that I use them in anyway. I'm sure other people can make use out of them. They go a little bit quicker. Okay, look at this. Maneuverability. That's an advantage. Medium. Now, that gives you an important difference. You've still got a lot of guns on this. You've got 48 guns. Okay, you've got some at the back. Basically, what they've done is they've sliced the top off one of the larger ships. That's all they've done, slice the top off. You've still got your top gallants. There you go. Showed you that before, didn't I, anyway? But okay, 48 guns on there. Firepower, pretty darn good. It's not full like the big ships, but that's pretty good. At a range 500. Accuracy is good, yeah, at 60. So basically, this is a manoeuvrable ship. You can take out the bigger ships with these, and that's why they were used. Yeah. So what you want to be doing really is taking out as many of his guns, the back guns, as you possibly can. Take out those 4 back guns with ball. Once you've done that, you can get that a little bit closer, start to hit his sails, run away again. But you have to get quite close to use the shot for the sails. The chain shot has a shorter distance than the ball. We could have a quick look at that, but let's have a look at the ship first. Getting a bit closer. There we go. Now again, useless at the back. Okay, no point in doing anything with the back. So in other words, if you're being chased like a dogfight, you know, with an aircraft, if you're going backwards, somebody's chasing after you. You are useless, absolutely useless. There's nothing you can do. If you are being chased, if you are going backwards, what you need to do is twist left, right, left, right, left, right, so you can broadside him, broadside him, broadside him, get something against him, otherwise you completely had it. Now look at the front of this one, and you can see nothing at all in there, absolutely nothing. You've got Marines on the ship though, that's quite handy to have. Well, basically on this one, you've got nothing at all to either the fore or the aft. That's the front or the back of this ship. Sorry. So if you look at this one, what did I say? 48 guns. So what are you going to have? You're going to have 24 on each side of this ship, and that's all you're going to have. But like I say, that manoeuvrability is priceless if you get good at using your ships. Because remember what I said about fire. You can turn a ship quicker than you can actually reload your cannons. Yeah. Oh, we've got a Marine who's climbing up there now as well. Do you remember I said to you that that Marines? See, he's got his musket on his back there as well. So what he's doing is climbing up to the top of the rigging so that he can give fire onto the enemy when they get a little bit closer. So you will take out some of his troops while you're doing that. So let's have a look at this for now. So you've got ball in there. Watch this. Oh, it's not showing me now. Look at that. Just make a liar out of me. Oh, how about that, hey? So, ball, chain, grape. For some reason, it's not showing me, but believe you me, I wonder if I just unpause this and it makes a difference. Right, see that? Yeah, it's doing it now. There's your chain shot. There's your balls. You've got ball, chain, and grape. So, just pause that again because that sloop is going to start getting active. So he's already started to have a go at this ship, hasn't he? But anyway, point is that if you're going to get close enough to the big ships to start hitting him with a chain shot because you want to slow him down somehow, then you're going to have to be a bit careful because you are going to go very, very close to him. And in order to get that close and turn, you're giving him the opportunity of turning as well. And bearing in mind, his rear can also shoot at you. You do have to be very, very wary of that. Okay, so that's the main ships of the line, taking us down to Razi. What I'll do now is I'll take us on to the other, what you might call lesser ships of the line. Next up on my list is the fourth rate. Now look at the fourth rate. This is the one that they put below the Razi. I've got them in order of, I think it's price actually, but it's certainly the hierarchical order that Empire Total War has put them in. So we've got 58 guns on this one with 195 personnel. Look round at the rear and you'll find no guns on the rear, just windows there. Look at the front. I'm pretty sure it's a couple that's on this one, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's just 2 on this one. So you take the 2 from the 58, leaving you with 56, which means you've got 23 guns on a broadside on this one. Yeah, substantially less than the heavier ships. So it's another thing that makes this one pretty useless as far as I'm concerned. I put it in the same category really as a third rate. The only advantage for this one is fourth rates can be got from commercial places. I'm pretty sure we can get those from trade hubs, not trade hubs, sorry, trade ports, when they get more sophisticated. So it can be quite handy for that reason. And you'll probably find that nations that don't develop a good, strong military will have these. A military at sea, I should say, will have these. So pretty good for Marines. Now look at the stats on this one, and you'll find that we've got maneuverability low. That's what gives the Razi its advantage. Yeah. Because the reload skill isn't brilliant, the firepower isn't great, speed is 13, so it's giving you a little bit more on speed. It'll close that gap that little bit quicker. But the Razi is going to be able to spin round, get one broadside, and then get another one in you. So fourth rate, perhaps not for me. It's not one that I recommend. But if that's all you can get, then fair enough. And it'll certainly murder a lot of those eastern ships. So it's got a good range as well. So we've still got the 500 on there. Different types of gun. The usual range of not 32s this time. We've got 24, 18s, and 12 pounders, and that's reflected by the firepower that you've got on those as well. So, okay, abilities. Top gallants, which is good. You can go a little bit faster, get that addition to it. Upkeep costs are significantly less. So, again. We'll see. Steamship. Told you I don't like these, didn't I? But the advantage of these, and watch this, I'm going to show you, because I won't be demonstrating these in a battle, so I'll show you now. Watch what this can do. If I just go like that, yep, and then unpause this game here. Oh, sorry, I haven't even ended deployment yet, have I? Right, okay, let's do that again then. Put him round there. Right, now just watch this. This ship here will turn on a sixpence. It needs no sail, so it doesn't matter where the wind is going. What will be happening is this wheel will be turning one way, and the other wheel, if it's got one, will be turning the other. Yes, it has. Yeah? So it can literally turn on a sixpence without any reliability whatsoever on the weather. Now this is one of the slower ones anyway. So what I'd like to say to you is that it gives you that advantage of being able to turn quickly. That's the advantage. The only problem is with these, look at this, look at all this heat. Great big funnel coming up through the middle of that with sails around. I mean, I don't want that. I don't want anything like that. I don't want hot things on a ship. Anyway, it can catch fire. That's one of the problems. It may well catch fire. Look at the number of guns you got on it. It's a pretty decent ship actually. This is the one that you get when you get your steam dry dock. This is what you're buying your steam dry dock for. So you've got 34 on it. Is it? I thought it was 4 on the back of this, but maybe it's only. Sorry, on the front. Sorry, there's nothing on the back again. Usual story. Get up here, and you look. I thought it was 4 on this, but it's obviously 2, isn't it? It's too narrow, isn't it, for 4? No, I was right actually, it's 4. Yeah, so you've got 4 on the front of this one, so that's nice to have. But you take your 4 from your 34, which leaves you with 30 on the rest of your ship, which means you've got broadsides of 15. And that's basically because you've got this damn great big wheel right in the middle, taking away all those. Just imagine you can have that and more in that space there. You're losing about 6 guns from your broadside by having that there, but you've got the manoeuvrability. It's up to you if you want it or not. It's good if you want to be using your steam to get away from things, but what tends to happen in my opinion with these is that you get rudder damage. Something will, I know it shouldn't be a rudder, should it, because it's moving from this, but you get some damage to it that affects its manoeuvrability. But anyhow, that's what makes me not like it very much. Manoeuvrability very high for the reasons I've just told you about there now. Not not dependent on the weather, and can turn very quickly, and can turn on a sixpence. Also speed 12, so it's a little bit quicker than the other ships. It's not bad. Look at your range though, it's reduced already. You're now down to 400, and that's because of the type of guns that you're firing there. I'm pretty sure these don't have 32 pounders. Again, they're not ones that I'm particularly familiar with, but look down here. I don't think it's even going to tell me, but I'm pretty darn sure they don't have 32 pounders. You'd probably find the maximum for theirs is a 24. Wouldn't surprise me if they've only got 18 pounders anyway. But okay, reload skill 8. Still not brilliant. Accuracy, oh no, it's 57. The others have been 60, but that's not bad at all. That's not bad for a ship like this, you know, with this kind of ability. So some like them, some don't. I'm one of those that don't like them. Over to the fifth rate. Fifth rates are common. I like the fifth rates. Fifth rates, speed 13, medium maneuverability, pretty good. Right, your range is 500. That's pretty good as well. So I believe the steamship was a bit less, wasn't it? I'm not too sure now. Accuracy 60, which is still pretty darn good. Reload skill is 9. Yeah, it could be better. You can improve those, by the way, with tech and experience, chevrons or whatever, you know, that sort of thing. And they get top gallants, so they can get away quickly, you know, if they need to. So get in there quick. Use a medium ability to manoeuvre against the big heavy ships that have got a low ability to manoeuvre. Yeah, and you're going to hit them with a decent size of broadside there. 48 guns in total, and you can see on here that you've got 2 in the front, so you've actually got 46 guns, which means you've got 23 gun broadsides. And when you think a brig has got what, 24 on it in total on the ship, yeah, you've got more on one side of your ship than a brig has got on the whole of its ship, you know, including its non-broadside guns. Nothing on the back there, so you've still got no advantage from that at all over the other ships. So all in all, I would say fifth rate, very good all-rounder. And if you're going to get, if you've got a port, you know, trade port where you can get fourth rates, get fifth rates instead, because they're just that little bit more manoeuvrable and just that little bit quicker, and I think they're worth having, and they're a little bit cheaper. Let's go for this one, the bomb ketch. Again, another one I don't like. Sounds good, doesn't it? Look at the firepower, 216. Not bad at all, yeah, for the fact he's only got 14 guns. Range, 350. Right. Now, the range of those should be better than that. My understanding is the bomb ketch. Oh, maybe I'm thinking about a carronade frigate. My apologies. I'll get onto the carronade frigate in a minute. This is another one of those that I don't use. Basically, it's just a mortar on a ship, yeah, in a similar way that the carronade frigate is as well, I suppose. But there you go. If you have a good look at it, you'll see it's got normal cannons around it, so it can fire normally there. And it's also got, where are we? Come on. There you go. You see those mortars on there? So think of this as a floating mortar ship. It's got a couple of mortars on the front. That's all it is. Now, on the back, if we look on here, let's look closely. Come on. Right. I can't look closely. I can't look any closer than that. But what you've got is a rounding to the back of this. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure, I don't think it's going to show me right there now, is it? But you should find, there you go, that it's got, I always thought it had a slightly wider arc to it there instead of the others, you know, so you might be a bit surprised that you get into that before the others, because it sort of rounds at the back there. But it can only fire at the back, but it can't fire at the back, sorry, it can only fire broadsides. But, like I said to you before, look, it can also fire straight forward. Now look at this. You see this space that's opened out in the side here. Now it's given you a range there before, but look at that range there. That range there is similar to this range here, around about there. Look at how much greater range you get from this. Now these are mortars. They're quite powerful as well. They're going to drop on enemy ships. Now these are okay if you can keep them at the back, you know, and drop on enemy ships. But if you're going to get up close, you've got nothing to offer at all. Out of your 14, 2 of them are the mortars. So, oops, let me get a bit closer. 2 of them are mortars, which means that you've got 12 guns in all, 6 on each side. That's all you've got, as I remember. Let's have a look, just double check that one. Pretty sure that's the case. Like I said, I don't use them, but I can't really count them from there. Maybe you can see them better than me. 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like 4 to me. Maybe there's a couple on the top there. That's on the top deck there. 5, 6. So you've got 6 guns on there, and I'm pretty sure they are. Yeah, they are. Um, they're just normal cannons on the top there. I can't really see them actually, but I know they've got another couple of cannons. I know they've got 6 basically on there as well. So okay, I wonder if there's a couple somewhere down there. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. That'd be 4, 8, and then those 10. There's another couple of guns somewhere. No, I can't quite. Ah, there's the gun hatch there. So they're just underneath that top deck there. So it'll be just there, I'll bet. Can't really sort of see it properly, can you? But it is there. Just there. Hope you can see that. That's it. Okay, so 6 guns broadside. Not brilliant. Don't recommend it, like I said. Looking at this, you can see the speed is 9. Not brilliant. Maneuverability, you know that's a favourite of mine. No good. Because, I mean, why do you need it anyway? Why do you need to be able to get your guns in sideways? It's okay if you want to mortar somebody from a distance. These ships would be really good if you could get your ships into a land situation. They'd be really good for standing off the shore and just mortaring from the water while your troops landed. They'd be brilliant. And that's really the use of a ship like those. In sea battles, I don't recommend them. The mortars are inaccurate, and okay, they've got a better range. You have to be very lucky to hit something. And you can repair ships. So, I mean, if you are hit from that distance, take it away, get it repaired. It's a waste of time, in my opinion. So just give it a decent broadside, blow it out of the water, and get on to the decent ships. So here we go. Next one, carronade frigate. This is the one I was mixing it up with. Right, okay, range 400. It's actually got a better range than that, again, I think, but I don't know why it's showing me only 400. It's accuracy 60. Firepower is very good, you know, for a ship like this, with only 24 guns. So, again, you've got top gallants. Let's go and have a look at this one. You can see all the other information there just by pausing it, can't you? Don't need to talk through that. Well, if you look down here, you should see, on here, where is it? I can't quite see it now. Where are you? I'm sure. Oh, I can't see it. I can't see their big guns. Right. Okay, you should see the range is pretty darn good on those. I don't know why it's saying that the range is not as good as other ships. It says 400 on there. The range of these is normally really quite good. So let's go and have a look at this. It's not quite making any sense to me, that one. Just have a look at the abilities. Right, we didn't use these very often, by the way, I don't think. Right. Right, armed with... Right, they're long guns. No larger than 12 pounders. A few short-barreled 64-pounder carronades might be aboard to get. That's it. These are the ones, the 64-pounder carronades. Carronade frigate goes one better and carries nothing but carronades. Oh, that makes sense. That's right. They're big guns. There you go. Short guns that are half the weight of the equivalent conventional cannon. While the weight of the broadside is truly awesome, the frigate has to get in close in order to blow an enemy. Yeah, but that's because the extra firepower. They can fire from a distance, but you need to be really close to get the weight of that of those arms in there. Right, okay. Enemy to can't really make that one out actually, but anyway, thanks to the carronades, limited range. Right, okay. A clever enemy will stay out of range of the carronades' horrendous power and take long-range pot shots. Well, that's what I've been telling you about the bigger ships anyway, isn't it? So the Royal Navy experimented with them. Won't bore you with the details. Maneuverability, medium, not brilliant. Speed is okay, so you can get in there, but take its sails away. That's the thing. Take its sails away. It can't get in close. But what it's not telling you there, is it's got awesome grape shot. You need to research the technology for carronades in order to get one of these, because basically they're bigger, heavier gun. Think of a blunderbuss instead of a rifle, instead of a precision rifle. That's the way I think of them. But I mean, massive balls are coming out of these 64-pounder balls. But like I said, you've got to get up close to them, and there's no way that 12 of those firing at you is going to have anything like the same impact as 50 odd from your heavy first rates getting in there. So again, look to your front. Oh, in this case, you've got absolutely nothing. I thought you had some just coming round, but I can't see any coming round. But don't be fooled by that broadside vision. When it does that on your ships, it does that even when you can fire forwards as well. That's a bit of a fault with the game, I think. Okay, so nothing there, nothing in the rear, just pretty stuff, again, as I remember, yes. Then round the front here, nothing around there at all, so it's got no effect from the front. So if you're faced with one of these, hit it from the front. Its manoeuvrability is only medium, it's not a terribly fast ship, it's going to want to get up close to you, rip out its sails with a decent broadside, slow it down, gradually manoeuvre away, turn around and whack it. You know, I mean, you're just going to blow that thing out of the water, there's no doubt about it. Okay, so finally we're on to the 6 or 8, the most common ship that you'll see the AI getting, because it's easy to get with you know, commercial ports and things like that, or just dry docks. You know, when they first get their shipbuilding places, they'll build a load of these and then not have the money to be able to build ships afterwards, and they'll fill up their navies with ships like these. Speed 15, fairly handy. Manoeuvrability medium, pretty good as well. They're not going to stand up to a 5th rate really, and if you're going to get small grade ships, go for the 5th rates. But anyway, on this one, hull strength still pretty decent, firepower very good, range 500, yeah, pretty good, accuracy 63. That's worth having, there's no doubt about it. These are quite good for escorting troop carrying ships, you know, like sloops and things. You know, you want something that's going to go that little bit quicker. So you get into a battle with the big ships, just retire from the seascape. You know, just hit withdraw, take this and your sloop off. The big ships won't catch you. That's the way to do that. So they're good for convoying on the big ships. You know, when somebody engages you in a battle, you're on the campaign map. You just hit withdraw. So you withdraw from it. If something chases you, yeah, don't withdraw again because it will destroy your ships. Get onto the battle site, yeah, and then physically withdraw your ships. And what will happen is they'll turn around, withdraw, and they'll fight again. Usually, sometimes it's not the case if you're backed up against land, but that's what I would do. I would escape in that way. Anyhow, abilities, all you're going to get, top gallants, but it makes them go a little bit quicker. And if you look at this one, you'll see that it's got nothing on the back again, by the way. I'll tell you about that straight away. Nothing on the front of this one, yeah, and all the guns are down by the sides, and not a lot of them either. Only 24 guns. So you've only got 12 guns per side. Basically, it's the size of a brig, you know, in terms of firepower. Well, okay, its firepower is better, but in terms of the number of guns it's got, and it's got, like I said, on there, a range of 400, a speed of 13, and manoeuvrability medium. Now, on here, we've got. Oh, which one am I looking at there? Am I looking at the wrong one? Sorry, looking at the wrong one there. Ah, strike that. 32. It is 20 odd, but I think this one. Let's just have a quick look. I got mixed up with my ships there. Went into the wrong one. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Anyway, 32. Not a big difference between this and the brig of 24. I thought I was going to tell you it's the exact same number of guns, but I managed to somehow get over to the other ship, and I'm not sure why I did that. But anyway, lucky on this one, just to make sure I've got everything right. Speed 15 and medium manoeuvrability, and again, just the top gallants. So only broadsides with this one. So no advantage to turning it from one side or another in terms of getting another shot in from either your front or your rear. So okay, let's move on to the lesser ships, what they would call the lesser ships, but you'd be surprised how many of these I actually recruit into my navy. Well, now let's make sure I got my ships in the right order, shall we? This one is a brig. The brig, very, very useful ship to have, there's no doubt about it. You'll see a lot of them used in the general campaign map. The enemy will use a lot of them as well. So the brig is your most basic battleship, basically. This one's called the Prince Royal. 26 guns. And if you look on the rear of the brig, that's here, you see it's got its guns there in the rear, unlike any of the other ships that we've looked at so far. Yeah, it's got rear guns. Yeah, only 2, but it has got rear guns. That means that it can poke a hole in the enemy while it's running away. And it has speed. Look at the speed that this has got. As well as having high manoeuvrability, it's got a speed of 16. It's going to outrun anything. The trouble is, you do run out of what's the word I was going to say, room or seascape or whatever, I don't know, but you can't just keep running and running, because you'll run off the edge of the world, if you like. Yeah, the battle will end. That's rather a shame, really, because you should be able to run for a long time before you actually get to land. So, but you can get round, and provided you can do some damage, you can wheedle backwards. It's a very, very handy ship in retreat, this one, or to draw the enemy on. Firepower's not bad, not brilliant. The range is good, accuracy is very good. Yeah, reload skill is 8. Depending on, sort of how you sort of develop your ships, we'll see. But recruitment costs, not bad at all. Upkeep costs, very cheap. Very good at escorting other ships as well. So a very, very good convoy ship. Yeah. So your sloops have got your troops on. Your brig can escort them and get away really quite easily. So not a bad one. Very, very regular ship in the British Navy, as you can imagine. So okay, let's go and have a look at why the brig is so good. First of all, I've just said we've got 2 guns in the rear. We've got a total of 26 guns, which means 24, so it's got 12 guns aside. Now that's going to compete with your average other ships, isn't it? So here's how you play with a ship like these. You retire, and as you're retiring, you spin this way with the enemy following you. You shoot with your 2 guns at the rear. Yeah, it does that automatically, just have it on fire at will. When you turn that way, your broadside guns will fire. Then what you do is you turn this way, your 2 guns at the back will fire again, and then this side will fire. Yeah, so you're going to get 26 guns firing in one manoeuvre, really, from turning from that side over to this side. 26 guns at a ship that's trying to follow you and keep up. So a big, slow ship gets hit by 26 guns before it gets even anywhere near. Again and again and again as it follows. This is how you fight with a brig. Like I said, at some point though, you're going to end up against the ropes and you're going to have to fight your way out. So you might have to suffer a little bit of damage, let it get a bit too close to you, hit the sails of the enemy ship, whatever you do. Take some damage. It doesn't matter if you lose half your guns, your hull's going down, whatever's happening, doesn't matter. Just take out his ship, take out his sails rather. Okay, the sloop. Next favourite ship, another one in a similar vein. Very quick, speed, manoeuvrability, brilliant. It'd be nice to have a bit more room on the seascape, of course. Let's have a quick look at this one. Again, I'm pretty sure, actually I didn't check, we've got no top gallants on this one. You don't need it, they're fast enough anyway. So really nice, quick little ships. These are the ones I'd want if I was at sea, it really is, because they're going to get away from anything, and in reality you want a ship that's going to be able to escape. Use a bit of cloud if you're in the sky, of course, but in these you're going to be using sea mist, aren't you, to fox the enemy and get away. You could hit it, run, wait for a bit of dark, wait for a bit of mist, do the same again. Yeah, look down at these ships, you'll find they've got nothing on the front. Nice decent body of marines collected on there though, so they're going to give a bit of fire, that's good, and they can board certainly Indiamen, who are a little bit slower. They've got some big guns, but Indiamen, really trade ships, are very, very vulnerable to a ship like this, there's no doubt about it. Okay, so on this one I'm afraid you haven't got any guns in the rear. You've only got your guns on the side, but like I said, it doesn't matter, because you're going to be able to swing round and shoot at them from both sides. So what have you got on this one? You've got 18 on this, you've got 9 guns aside. Okay, swinging around pretty quickly. You're going to outmaneuver anything else but another sloop. The thing I like about these is if you keep these on the with your large fleets, any of his that start to rout that are going to get away from your big ships because you haven't done enough damage to their sails, you can chase them down with a sloop. I hope to demonstrate this kind of thing in fairly soon. Range 500, firepower 346, but it's peanuts against the massive ships, of course. But like I said, you are going to get away. Now, these are favourite ships, the brig and the sloop. We're down now to the galley. Galley, not my favourite, but galleys, they're not bothered about the wind. Just take this pause away, let's have a look. See where the wind is there? The wind's up there. The wind will help them move because they've got sail as well. They've got a speed of 12, they've got a manoeuvrability that's very high, because watch this. Down come the oars, these are going forwards, those are going backwards, and there you go. Well, it doesn't look as though they're going forwards and backwards, does it? But that's what they're supposed to be doing. Can I just ask them to do it this way? There you go. And believe you me, they do that just as effectively, maybe even more effectively than your steamship will do. But just looking at this one, you'll see it's only got 4 guns. Look where the guns are on this one. Let me just stop it a minute so we can get a good look. Okay, there you go. You should see, I don't know if you can really make them out there, 2 guns on the front there of that ship. Yeah. So you make out the 2 guns on the front, and if you look down the ship, because you've got all your oarsmen in there, you're not going to be able to put any guns in there, are you? Yeah. So the other place where you're going to get your guns is on the back of here. Yeah. So you've got I can't really see them in there. I can't make them out at all actually, but you've got 2 guns fore and you've got 2 guns aft, right? Because you've got no room. I can't really show it in there, but there's definitely another one in there as well. So what have we got on here? Yeah, apologies for the bleeping in the background there, so that's not part of the plan, but at least it's not going to put me off what I'm doing. So what have I got on here? Just 2. Yeah, just the 2 guns in the front there, and pretty sure actually it looks like there might be a 3rd one on there, doesn't it? Can't quite make that one out, but anyway, the main thing is they've got guns to the front and guns to the rear. They've got a fair amount of men on these ships as well for the size of the ship. Yeah, 135, pretty decent. And with some of these foreign nations, some of the Muslim nations in particular, yeah, they're pretty handy as well. Those guys, I mean, they'll double up as not quite Marines, but certainly fighters. It does show Marines on this ship, of course, but that's probably because it's more of a British ship. I don't know how it works with the others, but there's no way you're going to climb up in the rigging. But of course, it's hard to board you because the big ship comes next to you. They try and board, and they're just going to go falling to their death on there. Now you can ram with these. It's quite an effective thing to do. Look at this great big ram on here. That will make a mess of any sort of ship of the line. It really does. It's like it goes in like a torpedo. I don't know if it explains that on here as well. So you do have to watch out for that when you get anywhere near these, because they'll come against the wind. They're not bothered about the wind at all. You're struggling with maneuverability. They've got very high. They're firing at you as they come in. They damage your broadside, and then what they'll do is they'll hit you with that. I'm not sure if it tells you on here. With cannons on firing platforms above the rowers' heads. Right, okay. All bows made obsolete by the rise of the, all those who are made obsolete. It's difficult for me to read those. Its disadvantages, vulnerability, of course, to heavy guns. I'm hoping it's going to tell us something about the it doesn't seem to be doing it, does it? But they do have a ramming ability. You can ram with those, and that's one of the advantages. Okay, well that sort of finishes the sort of main ships, the main ones that certainly the British will be using. But I don't think I've seen a Zebek yet, so I'll go on to a Zebek on the next video, and then go into some tactics as well, and show some battle formations as well. So anyway, at least that's sort of taken us through the basics of the ships. You need to understand that and the particular strengths of those ships, because it's all right me saying this is how you use these ships, but you might prefer other ships. You might prefer to use them in different ways. So there's no point in me saying do it my way. I mean, you can look at my way and then decide whether you want to adopt it or not, but different styles suit different people. And of course, if you've got different navies facing different types of other people's navies, then you might well want to be able to stand off, and hit them with mortars from your from your bomb catchers, for instance, or even get up close. I mean, imagine how vulnerable that would be to a bomb catch, for instance. I mean, sorry, not a bomb catch, sorry, a carronade frigate. A carronade frigate coming up next to that, hitting it with grape shot would just wipe them out. It really would. A couple of grape shots, and that would be the end of them. But of course, you've got to stay to the side of them, and remember, they don't need to be worried about the wind. So, okay, let's get on to the next video.